love me, yeah, they love me. First love yourself. For that, and God we trust me. I don't trust myself. Your jewelry, I get it took. No show.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Florida, Texas, and New York. So if you're located in one of those areas, make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They will also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. Of course, I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Cam and Mase.
Exactly. Guess he's with they. He's with they.
Well,
let's get an ISO on Mase real quick, please. Okay.
Oh, can't wait till they can bring him back. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, today we are joined with our football analyst, Maurice Clarett. How are you?
Mo, what's up,
I'm
man?
doing great.
What's good?
What's going on?
Hey, yo, listen.
All is well.
You look great, man. Pause. How much real quick are you getting from these universities to have every week a different university that you're representing? Ohio State, of course, makes 100% sense. Connecticut last week. We don't know who's going to be next week. What is that budget like that you're getting all this you come, because you come representing. It ain't even like Louis Vuitton, Gucci. You come with the symbol where they cutting you a check at. How does this work so I can get involved?
Well, I don't get no check from Miami. We got a historical beef since we beat them in the national championship, right?
Okay.
So all my dudes, DJ Williams, Jonathan Vilma, all those dudes down in Miami, I got love for them.
Okay.
And I got a I got a Sean Taylor shirt on.
Okay.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
Yeah, that nigga was a monster.
God rest my man's soul. Wind up getting the shirt from DJ Williams, and so I told him, just for camaraderie and to let him know these years, I was gonna represent him for him.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Well, thanks for coming back, man. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I enjoy being here.
Good.
I told you, you got me kicked out the house though.
What happened? Niggas blame me for any and everything. How did I get you kicked out the house?
Hey, look, so I was laughing so hard last week that my lady was like, yo, you waking everybody up in here, right?
Yeah.
And so she didn't hear about, my man on Fordham Road in the chicken suit or my man in the layup line. So
yeah, man.
when she heard it,
that's why
she like, yo, you got to get out of here.
That's why you in the car tonight.
Yeah.
All right, I dig it. I can dig it.
No, and then I see you got the Bentley earlier this week. So yeah. I said, I'm with my Harlem cats, so we got to show out a little bit.
Oh, nah. I see the sprint. I see you showing. Listen, man. Listen, I'm Harlem, but I'm Ohio. I know y'all do. You know how we do. When I say we, I really mean that we shit, man. So at the end of the day, don't act like you. I'm supposed to be surprised that you sitting in luxurious shit. I'm not. That's where it's supposed to go, baby.
That's how we gonna do it.
Yep, let's get into it.
But I was influenced by my Harlem cats.
Nah, I appreciate you. Let's get it.
So let's start. Okay. Jason Whitlock claims he knows the truth behind Deion Sanders' persona. He said Deion Sanders is actually insanely insecure. He camouflages his self-doubt with gold chains, bluster, and bullying. He's 56 and insisted people refer to him as Prime, a secular, materialistic character he created as a child at Florida State. He also said, Deion says he's coaching to uplift Black coaches, but he hired white coordinators at Colorado. What are your thoughts on his bold statements? Maurice, you go first.
Yeah, when I first seen it, my emotions and my head got into a space where I wanted to call him out his name, right? But when I sat down and processed it, man, I said, man, this dude is deeply hurt. And a lot of this stuff stems from like personal issues, right? And when you look at somebody like Deion and you look at just the swag he carries around, you look at my man's family, you look at his children's mothers, you look at, what this man has done and who he's become since the 80s, with having money, being in the limelight, being able to live a lot of people's dreams, playing 2 professional sports. And you would see, like, when you do have success, you start to realize that there's people out there like this who will dig for reasons to hate you. And after they dig for reasons to hate you, they'll try to get other people to latch on for things that, that are shortcomings of theirs, right? And so when you look at dude, he in his mid 50s. He's a bad looking dude, teeth raggedy, constantly got fired over the last 10 or 15 years. And then you see Prime, who comes through. My man is boisterous, and he's, I don't want to say black because that's not the only way to represent blackness, but he's totally comfortable being himself. And there's a lot of people who get on national platforms, and black people in particular, who can't be themselves because they feel they have to accommodate to somebody who's white or who's ever cutting the check, right? So when I see people like who are in positions to either big up Dion or talk about all the great things he's doing or the great things that he's bringing to sports, I really look at these dudes as just like deep-rooted haters, you know what I'm saying? And when I went to go just do my Google search on him and just what he's done over the last 10 or 15 years, I say it's people looking at Dion, be it from a physical standpoint, be it from a professional standpoint, or just be it from a career standpoint. It's like self-reflective hate. And so what happens in situations like that is that you self-destruct by talking bad on the next person. And that's Jason Whitlock, right? And when you look at what he's associated with and who he's associated with, like, I would feel bad if I had to wake up and this had to be my main thing on how to tear somebody else down or talk shit on somebody. And that's just my thoughts on it.
Yo, Mo, come on, man.
Hold on, man. Yeah.
Oh, he's back?
They gonna always say it on Dion.
Yo, hold on, bro. Where are you coming from, man? So you gonna act like so you gonna walk in and just skip everybody? That's what you gonna do today. That's what we doing.
Yeah, they switch outfits on me. I had to switch clothes. I had to switch in the bathroom. Pause.
Now look, you want to go or you want me to go?
You good?
All right. I never, to be honest, this nigga Murder is amazing. Like, nigga's not in the chair now; he's in the chair. Pause. This funny. This nigga's amazing, bro. So look, I don't know Jason Whitlock. My man Bub put me onto him today. I never heard of this guy, and then I just seen and my man Larry told me about him a couple weeks ago, but I just never cared too much to pay attention to him. Look, it's certain people, to me, I'm not saying that they don't feel the way they feel, about certain things. But some of this should just be clickbait. You say the most outrageous shit to get people riled up. And I'm not one of the people going to get riled up about what he says, because after my man put me on to him today, I started doing a little homework. And I'm like, oh, he always says some outlandish shit. So this week, it's hate on prom week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to just sit here and act like I know him. I found out about him today. I have no idea, but he always says some shit, to me, seems like clickbait. But that doesn't mean, I don't know him that well to say he doesn't mean what he says. I don't want to say that because I don't know him. But sometimes it just be so outlandish, you know what I'm saying, that you just be like, come on, bro. Really? But when it comes to Dion, it's a bunch of people hating on Dion. What happened with Miami? Yeah. So look, Miami University just banned Warren Sapp and Michael Irvin for coming to the University of Miami football games because they were supporting Dion. Like, yo, niggas can't go back to their old school. I bet you, and I'm not saying Michael Irvin and Warren Sapp because they're super big figures in the football world, but are you going to get the same treatment at Miami University that Dion and them is rolling out the red carpet for you? I don't know. I didn't go there. I don't know if they're going to get that same treatment. Walk on the field, go to the skybox, eat what you want to eat, pause. Everything is laid out. Dion makes sure you good. And I'm not saying he does that for any and everybody, but if he invites you, it's a definitely VIP invitation. So, homeboy, I don't know him that well to talk about him, but Dion's a hot topic right now, and you got people who love him, and you got people who hate him. I don't really think it's an in-between. Pause.
People think it's a black thing. That's what they're getting. They're really going against. They feel like you're urbanizing the college experience, especially in the Pac-10. They're not used to those kind of coaches and things like that. So I think that's where most people are coming. And it's mixed with a little bit of hate. Definitely a lot of hate is involved.
would say it's definitely hate because I don't really think it's even stemming from self-doubt, and I don't even think it's a persona. I think Dion is really him. He came to coach these guys, and that's what we want to see. So hating on him for doing what he should do and changing the narrative, it just doesn't sound right to me.
And it's a quick way to put your name in the tabloids. The key to hating is to connect your name with somebody hot, and then every time they got to mention their name, they got to mention yours.
And that's the thing about it. When Mo sent me this topic, Bub told me about earlier, I'm like, I don't know him. This like, look, we're starting to show off with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They put him in the press.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. I'm like, Bub told me about. I'm like, I don't know this. Now I'm not paying no mind. Then when I read Mo C's comments, notes for the day, I'm like, I guess niggas is talking about. Let's talk about it. But this is a lead for our show, which is probably a big deal for him. And then he's gonna be like, I don't give a fuck. He looks like one of them niggas. I don't give a fuck with. But I'm just saying in general.
It's like the girl that says she doesn't care that you're famous. She cares.
Yes, I call that reverse groupie. You know, I call that a reverse groupie when you're like, I don't care who you are. You be like, yo, hello, I don't care. Who are you? I don't really care. I'd be like, you're a reverse groupie because you're trying too hard to act like you're not a groupie.
Yeah.
So
kind of like what the guy said to Aaron Rodgers when he said, I don't even know who you are. It's like,
right.
But yeah. Okay, speaking of Dion, one of the most anticipated games this weekend is Colorado versus Oregon. Do the Buffs have what it takes to take the dub? Maurice.
I don't know. The biggest X factor that I think everybody gets scared of is Travis Hunter being out. And so they have a freshman that is replacing him. And so you have this high-powered offense with Oregon. And you ask yourself, what type of schemes or what type of things do they go and put on the field to exploit the young guy not having that many reps, right? So if you're behind Travis Hunter, I'm pretty sure the young kid never thought that he would even be in a position to play just because Travis Hunter's in front of me. I don't think I'm going to play. Did I practice that much? Did I prepare that way? Did I mentally think that I was going to go out here and have to perform over 3 weeks? You know, and that's like part of it, right? And then on offense, you lose one of your weapons, right? Yourself like, was that guy on offense prepared to step up and do his same thing? But when you look at the historical thing with Oregon statistically, in every category on defense, they're I don't want to say horrible, but they're bad, right? They don't even come in the top 20 in any things that relates to defense. So that gives Shador and those guys an advantage on the offense, right? And the key to this, I think, is going to be able to slow the guy down. Bo Nix, he's averaging, or Oregon is averaging 56 points a game. And so if the Colorado defense, with Travis being out, can scheme up something to slow him down and to not have them score so much, then Shador, if they go out there and do what they've been doing, he has, I think, like 12 or 1,300 yards right now. And if he goes on and passes for 400 yards and, they establish the running game and keep the other guy on the sideline, I think that they have a chance. And I want to see him go into the next week against USC undefeated. And so hopefully that happens. Hopefully Dion and them continue to win. And, hopefully we have a Colorado victory.
Mo, that's a lot of ifs right there. Now that I'm thinking about it. And let me put my expertise out there. You said something that I disagree with, but I respect, what you know about football. But I think because that Travis Hunter has played there, that couldn't this be a big benefit to the guys that were playing behind them, pause, that they're able to play against them on offense and they were able to play against them in defense? They might be more prepared than you think.
Yeah, inexperience. And so that's a good assessment. I ain't think you was going to say that, right? So
without the glasses. This is without the glasses. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. You surprised me on that one.
Yeah, if he's playing against them every day on offense and then they're playing against them every day on defense, then it actually makes them a little bit more prepared than we probably think. All he got to do is be good for a few weeks until he come back.
But it's just it's a space from a preparation standpoint, right? Where if you don't plan on getting in, like your head is like, what am I doing after the game, or what's going on the sideline, and you're not really taking practice serious. And I'm not saying that that's the case but being around the game so long, people who are backups, they just have like a total different mentality and preparing to go out there and play, 40, 50, 60 snaps. That's one thing. But then also, I'll say this, right? And one, that's actually a great point that you brought up, that they've practiced and you hope
Thank
that
you,
it's the
Mo.
next man
Thank
up.
you, Mo.
No, but I will say this: like, you have these guys. When you get into a game time moment and you have a big time quarterback, there's just a lot of different scenarios you can put a young guy in just from not have experiencing the looks. You know what I'm saying? Different route patterns, and this is just football stuff, right? So prior to a play, you have a read, right? So a quarterback says, I'm coming up to the line. I look at the defense, and from the look of the defense, I have a play that's going on. But once I snap the ball and I see the position that the defense like adjusting to, then it switches into another play, right? And so I don't know how well or how much work that the Oregon offense will put into trying to exploit something like that. I believe they will, just by experience. And so even from a defensive scheme standpoint, Travis Hunter locks down a whole side of the field. So even if you're a defensive coordinator and you're scheming against the other team, at the end of the day, like, you have to change everything you do because one of your key players in the game.
Yeah, to Mason's point, he's 100% right. But it's sometimes too, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Mason. Sometimes niggas be prepared and scared of the moment. You gotta have all the fucking practice, experience, and I'm not saying Dion players ain't ready, and you practice all week, you got all your reps in, you did everything you supposed to do, and when them fucking lights hit you, you're not fucking ready. And then on top, the thing that I'm more scared about with this game for the Buffalo is that they're not at home. They're not gonna be in a comfortable environment. So everything that I haven't watched Oregon play, but from everything I've been watching all week, keeping up with Oregon, and obviously what you said as well, Buffalo have a chance from what I'm hearing, but everybody's talking about the quarterback and the defense. The lack of defense that Oregon has. That's why they have a shot. But you could practice all weekend. If you're not ready for the situation, you're not ready for the situation. Is Zach Wilson ready for the situation? No, he's not ready for the situation. Aaron Rodgers goes down. He's not ready for the situation.
Great point.
I'm pretty sure he's been practicing with Aaron Rodgers the whole time. I seen him on the HBO, on Hard Knocks. He's been doing everything Aaron Rodgers been doing. When it was time for him to get in, he wasn't ready. He had all the reps. He was practicing. Them lights hit. That kid was that frog from Warner Brothers. When the curtains go up, he start ribbing and he can't sing no more, man. So,
that's actually a good point with the Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson situation. The thing that I'm saying that's slightly different is that when Travis Hunter is on defense, there's actually a wide receiver on offense, and when he's at wide receiver, there's actually a cornerback or a safety playing against him. So these guys are actually a little bit more prepared than Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson is not playing directly against Aaron Rodgers. That would be my only takeaway from that.
Right.
But Mo, I'm an expert. That's why they got me here. That's why Cam got me here, That Florida Gator blue, you see it? It's giving what it's giving. Pause. It's Florida Gators, That know the vibes.
Yeah, we do. We do. I got Mace on this one. Anything Florida, I got you.
Yeah.
Florida Gator blue. Mo got on an Ohio State hat and a shirt.
Yeah. The switch up is crazy.
The whole shit, the nigga getting checks from everywhere. You Florida Gator blue, but you went to the University of Miami as well. But I'll let y'all have y'all fun. Enjoy. Pause.
Enjoy.
He got on U of M? Yeah. What are you doing?
This nigga gets a check from everywhere. I don't care what nobody say. He gets checked. The cross Ohio State hat with the shirt. And I'm not saying, of course, Fred Taylor was a monster. Sean Taylor, I'm sorry, no disrespect, Sean Taylor. I seen his documentary.
Yeah.
He's a monster. God bless the dead. But it's something behind that. I'm not trying
Checks and fees.
Yeah,
No,
man.
no, this is the truth.
Oh, okay.
But I tell you what, hey, I seen the Bentley get pulled up to the house. I might have to switch to Viagra for the pink horsepower now.
Yo, listen, man. You see, we went platinum, nigga. All you gotta do is we'll send you what you need. We got the mother load, man. You're literally selling drugs. Whether you know it or not, Mo, you're selling. I am not selling drugs. You're hurting the community. Let me know when you're ready, man.
I
We'll
just
talk off
think you
camera.
All right.
Okay. So we spoke on Jason Whitlock's comments, but they don't stop there. A clip is circulating of a man who called into a radio podcast saying that Deion Sanders makes everything about himself. He said, "Can you name a white coach off the top of your head who makes it about themselves? He doesn't understand the purpose of selling sunglasses and merchandise separate to the team." He also said, "We see a black man shining and it tears us down because that's all we have left, the coaches." What are your thoughts on the comment he made?
That was wild. That was wild right there. That was super wild. I mean, it's so many ways you could look at that same situation, because what is he saying? That the school should sell the hats? Should the school sell the glasses? What is he really trying to say?
He basically said, I wish we could play his shit.
Yeah.
I would love to play it, but I don't even got time for it because it's almost hilarious.
Yeah.
He basically says, why does Deion have to, I'm a paraphrase what he said. He said, why does Deion have to make everything about him? This, that, and the third, the hat, the glass. So the guy who's interviewing him is like, excuse me, pardon me. The guy who's interviewing him is like, no, he's like, name, this is his exact words. No white coach does it, makes it like about him. So that guy who's interviewing him is black. He's like, no white guy is being questioned about everything they got to go through, this, that, and the third. And he's like, why is the hat, the glasses, this, that, and the third? So he says, coaching is all we got left. So the guy who's interviewed is like, y'all got volleyball? He said, yeah, we got badminton too. He said, yeah, you got hockey. He said, yeah, man, it makes us, his exact words is, it makes us insecure when a black man is succeeding and we can't do nothing about it. This is what the white caller said verbatim. So you got a little more context if you want to reply.
Wow.
Right. Look, to be honest with you, I kind of respected that white person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was honest.
He was dead honest. He didn't try to sugarcoat it or nothing. He was like, look, man, coaching's all we got left. And then the black interviewer basically said, hey, man, you got volleyball? He said, oh, yeah, we do got volleyball, right? He said, yeah, badminton. Then he said wrestling. He said, we not digging in each other's asses and doing all that.
Wow.
Y'all can have the wrestling shit, hockey. So he really started to admit that, okay, we do got a couple things left over. Thank you. But his original shit was basically saying that, look, man, Deion is taking everything.
Yes.
If you get black coaches, y'all got the players and the coaches, what else we gonna have left?
And that comment alone is disturbing when you think about it, because when you think about a person saying that they're insecure when black coaches are doing well, basically.
He said that.
So what he's saying in reverse is that we're secure when you niggas are not doing well.
That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what he said. That's how I heard it. I don't know how y'all heard it. That's why I was playing it over. Like, okay, I feel insecure that you're doing so well, right, which means that we're only secure when y'all niggas are acting like niggers.
That's exactly what he said.
When you're failing.
Yeah, we feel good.
When you smoking weed.
Yeah, and
we feel good.
And shooting heroin and smoking crack.
Yes,
Yeah,
if you beat a girl up and you play football, we feel good.
Right.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, everything up to this point has been said that everything that somebody does isn't the right thing. And I think that's the larger point, that you can be yourself and you don't have to adjust. Everywhere you go, there's never a moment where somebody feels that they have to adjust to fit in with black people, but there's black people all the time who feel that they have to adjust and assimilate to whatever white people do in a professional environment to be accepted. And so what Dion doing right now is showing you that the way that we crack jokes, the way that we hang out, the way that, you know, you want to socialize with people who are popular and famous and all that stuff, you can do all that, still have success. You can have kids on the field who you can praise them, you can let them talk crazy and do all the things that you do in a sporting environment. And so now somebody else is going to look at that and be like, man, like, you know, do we frown on somebody or do we push somebody away who can add value to this program in a way that another head coach or somebody else couldn't do? And that's the larger issue, because the more success he has doing this, like you look at it, like he raised $28 million after the TCU game, because all the stuff is about money. And somebody's going to say, is there a former player out there, or is there somebody else who can do the same thing to our campus? And those board of trustees don't care. You know, they don't care about nothing other than the bottom line. And if you can help to feed that bottom line, they'll market why they should do business with you and make you into a somebody. And so the coaching pool becomes larger, where before you used to have, like, you had to come from a coaching tree. You had to come from Nick Saban. You had to come from Urban Meyer. You had to come from somebody legendary, go become a coordinator, and then work your way up. And that's basically how you became a coach. A lot of black coaches are position coaches. And I don't want to say like that's the token nigga space, but if you're a position coach, you're not going to escalate to a head coach as fast as somebody white and grabbing you as the offensive defense coordinator and give you an opportunity. And so all this stuff is a lot larger than just, you know, we hate Dion. This stuff systematically can give people opportunity who probably didn't have opportunity in the past.
And let's add to that point. When you think of Dion, Dion has been through surgeries. Dion has had his toes, you know, cut off, and he's still stepping. This is you gotta go with Dion. And I'm not saying that being funny. It just sounds funny, but you know, Dion has been through a great deal. That's what changed my mindset about Dion when I went and did the research. I'm like, man, this guy's been through a whole lot, and he's still stepping forward to get the job done. He's making no excuses. He's not complaining. He's not looking for no sympathy, and you got to respect that. Black, white, or Chinese.
Absolutely, 100%. My thing is this. Why is niggas acting like, not y'all, why is niggas acting like this is a new Deion Sanders? This is what the nigga became into he been doing, acting like this is not a new Deion Sanders. Niggas like, oh, now you want to show off.
They knew what they was getting, Paul, when he went there.
Showing off since he got in college. He come to the fucking, look, the nigga gets drafted, 200 gold chains on like Mr. T, nigga. The curl paws is wet. He in home runs and scoring touchdown, talking shit. He high stepping in the end zone. He smacking the shit out of his former teammate when he go against him when the 49ers played the Andre Rison. This is what he do, my nigga. That's why when I see...
He had a rap album.
Yeah, he did a video.
It must be the money.
The nigga won the Super Bowl that went on Saturday Night Live and performed his rap shit. Why is niggas acting like this is some new shit? That's what's pissing me off about the whole shit. Niggas like he doing some, like now he want to act like this because he got the Colorado.
Yeah.
Nah, this is what he been doing for 30-something years, B. This is not new to me.
Yeah, and there's an old video floating around of Dion in the Colorado University saying, "This is my house."
Yeah.
Oh, no, they took that out. They edited that. That's when he went back to the Falcons. Yeah.
I was like, that would be crazy if he said that before.
Right. But that video you talking about, that's when he went back to the Falcons like, this the house I built. Fuck is wrong with niggas? You know what I'm saying? So this is not really nothing new. Like, I niggas acting like, oh, this nigga's showing off. First of all, and no disrespect, because that nigga will be like this, that, and the third. Last thing I'll say about this. Me personally, I'll say me, because it's going to be a bunch of people like Cam, you don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't paying attention for years, not since like Grambling in the 80s to a lot of HBCUs. And Dion brought a lot of attention there. So people like, oh, he left or he did this or did that. Not saying it ain't been popping. I'm just saying he brought more attention there when he went there to Jackson State. So everywhere he goes, he brings attention, and then you get a lot of backlash. He left Jackson State, this, that, and the third. Look, when there wasn't no water, he called up Walmart and everybody else to get them water. When niggas wasn't cutting the grass, he got on the shit and cut the field himself. I think wherever he goes, he brings attention to, and I think a lot of people don't like that. No disrespect to any HBCU for they be like, Cam don't know what he talking about. I'm just saying that he brings attention to a situation.
I think, and I say this with no pun intended, but it's funny. I know y'all gonna think it's funny when I say it, but Dion is so influential. He made Puff give $1 million to Jackson. Y'all gonna think.
So you're saying Puff wouldn't have gave the $1 million without Dion being there?
No, I'm saying I knew that was gonna go over wrong.
I'm just saying.
Clarification.
So that's what you're saying?
I'm saying Dion is influential.
All right.
Okay. Well, back to the audio for the viewers who don't know. That was actually said. So in quotes, it does say, "We see a black man shining and it tears us down." But I can tell you, we will continue to keep on shining. Let us know your thoughts on the callers' comments. And when we return, we will talk about Ole Miss versus Alabama.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. Wanna be free. Why am I in this woman wanna be free? Hell, I don't wanna see her walk away. I wish somebody told me the rules. Disagreements let her win, and it's cool. Even when I'm right, this ain't about you.
Welcome back. So let's get into our underdog fantasy picks of the day. This Sunday, the Broncos will play the Dolphins. Underdog Fantasy has Russell Wilson at 251.5 passing and rushing yards. Do you have him higher or lower?
Passing and rushing, are you saying inclusive of both?
Combined, yes.
Russell Wilson, lower.
Lower?
What's the exact number?
251.5 passing and rushing combined.
Lower. His shit's not looking good over there. That Sean Payton situation is not working out, man. I don't know how that's going.
Sean Payton thought he was going to motivate him.
Yeah, and tried to tell the nigga, stop all that fly, cool shit, kissing babies and all that. How's that going for you, Sean Payton? You got 15 more weeks to figure it out. We going lower. Pause.
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry Jeudy is at 49.5 receiving yards. Do you have him higher or lower?
I'm going lower and pause on that too.
Definitely going lower. Nigga had 25 yards last week. We just said that Russell Wilson can't get it together. How you gonna give him the fucking ball? Lower, definitely lower, 100% lower.
Okay. And on Miami's side, Tua is at half an interception. Do you have him higher or lower?
I fuck with fantasy because I have an interception.
Fantasy. They giving that money away.
Nigga got a half an interception as well. I fuck with y'all, Nick.
What's a half an interception? Paulie tapped the ball and almost caught it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. It's a good one, man. Because I ain't going off half. I'm going off if it's gonna have an interception and not have an interception. Tua been playing real fucking good, man. He's almost due.
I don't even know how you answer this. So if you answer, he will have an interception. Is that high? Yeah, that's going to be higher than a half. Okay.
Listen, it happens. I mean, I'm not saying Tua ain't good. It's just it's the NFL. Right. A ball could get deflected. Anything. I'm going to say higher. Okay. And I'm not saying Tua ain't busting ass. Pause. It's nobody goes without an interception the whole season.
Yeah, I'm going higher as well.
Okay. Make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. And we are joined back with our analyst, Maurice Clarett. Okay. Another upcoming game is Ole Miss versus Alabama. Currently, Ole Miss is ranked 15 while Alabama is ranked 13. So this game is pretty important for both teams. Can you give us an analysis on the way you think the game will go?
Well, I don't know. This will be an emotional game for Lane Kiffin. And so, just for context, the backstory, Lane Kiffin used to be an assistant for Nick Saban. And it was like, I think it was like 2015 or 16. He was getting ready to go to the national championship. Lane Kiffin, and some people say he got fired, and some people say he just walked away from the plane. But he left the Alabama team hanging right before the game. And so at that point, it was like sour grapes. And, Lane Kiffin went down to FAU, and then he eventually got the job at Ole Miss. And he's took those kids down at Ole Miss, man, and turned the entire program around with players that you probably would not see at Alabama. And so what's happening is just like Steve Sarkisian was an old assistant for Nick Saban, he came and beat him with Texas. Lane Kiffin is looking to do the same thing. And he even trolled him earlier this week saying, hey, man, you all have lost your defensive coordinator. And he started putting songs of Taylor Swift online, talking about this crumbling, and which got up under Nick Saban's skin. And I just believe somehow, some way, since Alabama is struggling with their quarterback situation where they flip-flop guys and then they're putting the one guy back in now, I just really believe that Lane Kiffin is going to pull this off. I think just like Steve Sarkisian did it a couple weeks ago. And once you know the mechanics and the weaknesses of certain teams and what drives them and the habits and the tendencies of guys who you've probably been around or their coaching style, I just think that these guys have the ability to exploit it. And I don't know, watching it in totality, Nick Saban is 71. It seems like everything, everybody's run comes to an end, or they start to, the guys who came up under him start to do more. Lane Kiffin is 48, and I just think it's these guys' time. It's a new generation of coaches, so I'm going with Ole Miss.
I got a question. Excuse me. Is Lane Kiffin an opportunist?
In what regard?
He never sticks. Ole Miss is probably the place he stays the longest. Like I watched Lane Kiffin shit for a long time, and I never really did a lot of due diligence on that nigga. But at the end of the day, he hops around wherever. He's at Tennessee. Nigga got a better. I buy Tennessee. Yeah, Alabama. Nigga leaves before he leaves Alabama. He's with the Raiders for 2 minutes, gets out the fucking Raiders. Then he goes to a team in Florida. He don't stick around there. It seems like when opportunity presents itself, he's like, fuck what you talking about. I'm out. And the reason I'm asking this is because I don't know how good of a football mind he is, but he always gets an opportunity somewhere. Do you think if a better opportunity comes along than Ole Miss, that he won't leave them hanging? Pause.
Yeah, I think it. So I think it's twofold. One, he's silly. So if you ever followed him on social media, my man is like, king troll, and you would never think that a head football coach should just be like a frat boy. He's like a spoiled kid, but his father, and he comes from a family coaching background, right? So in some regard, I think that he's just like a spoiled kid where I know the game, I grew up in it, I have so many relationships within this thing that I'm always going to do this or always have opportunity in it, right? And so nobody who thinks that they'll never have opportunity would just walk away from situations like this, right? But everybody knows he has a football mind. He grew up in it. His father was a legendary coach for like 40 or 50 years in the NFL. And so I think like he operates from that standpoint where, I'm always going to get an opportunity or somebody will always need me or I've always had success. So like, who cares? So I think it's more of that.
I think if the Indianapolis Colts needed him tomorrow for head coach, he leave all them fucking kids hanging. That's what I think. Right before the Alabama game. I think he'll be like, man, I gotta go, y'all. That's what I'm talking about as far as opportunities. Yo, it's been real. Tell your parents I appreciate them niggas. I gotta go coach the Colts because them niggas called with a bigger bag and a better spot for me. That's what I'm trying to say about Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
I don't care about his frat boy and all that other stuff. I appreciate you letting me know about his football mind because that always bothered me. Like, how does he keep just getting opportunity after opportunity? And like you said, even the Alabama situation, I remember that situation. He just gets up and leaves. You know, they say like Nick Saban kicked him out, this, that, and the third. But it was rumors when he was at Alabama before he left that he had another job while he was still coaching. He didn't even wait till the season was over to announce that. He announced that in the middle of the season or towards the end of it. And niggas is like, yo, this kid is just fucking wild. It explains more than like a frat boy situation or whatever. But it's, I guess like you said, shit moving in a different direction as we all can see. But I just think it's like not cool to do that to somebody that gave you a job when you didn't have a job.
It's unethical. Right. That's what it's called, is unethical, what he's doing.
Okay. So we spoke about Alabama, and as we know, they are currently ranked 13. Meanwhile, Clemson is currently unranked on the AP Top 25. Even before the season, Clemson was ranked number 9, which is their lowest preseason rank since 2015. Are these programs falling off?
I would say so. And the irony of both situations is that Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban were the biggest two critics of the NIL and players getting paid. And you can take that, and then you can kind of take what Dabo Swinney had to say about Colin Kaepernick, George Floyd, and just anything that was race related. He took a stance where he just I don't know, he negatively spoke on it or didn't align with his teammates, and you can kind of see how it's on him now. So if I was a coach and I was recruiting against these guys, I would leverage that and say, why would you send your black kid to this school to go play for a coach who won't even advocate for some social issues that you may experience or go through or so on and so forth. And so I think what you're seeing now is that, people are spending money. People are going to buy these players and bring them onto their campuses. And if you were a critic of players getting paid, it's hard for you then to go out to your boosters and be a huge advocate to raise money to then bring these players here and pay them. So I don't know. I don't think Clemson catches up anytime soon because of that. But Alabama, I think that Nick Saban has enough, enough coaching history that he will always recruit like a certain level of players. So I don't know if they're all the way down, but I would say Clemson will probably struggle and be at the back half of like college football for the foreseeable future.
What I have to say about it is this, that shit just changing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just shit, it's not even, shit changing. Like, you know why they was probably, and I didn't know that till you just said it, you know why they was probably so much against the NIL? Because they like, we gonna lose all the top recruits if this NIL shit go through. You know what I'm saying? And when you have a coach, like even like you explained just now with Lane Kiffin, it seems like he might be a player's coach from what I'm understanding. That's why kids may want to go fuck with him. Pause. So what I'm saying is this. I was, I really hate to keep using Deion as an example. I wish I had other examples. But when a coach speaks your language, it resonates with you more. When we was in the locker room or Deion talking to a kid, he said, yo, you got to get your mom out the hood, right? She in the 2-bedroom, right? 17 of y'all, right? This is the chance to get your mother out the hood. Dabo Swinney ain't going to say that because it's going to come off wrong even if he did say it. You're like, yo, who the fuck is you to tell me get my mom out the hood? Even if it's a correct statement, it's just going to come across wrong. But when you got somebody telling you or talking to you like this, it resonates. Yo, you exactly know exactly what I'm talking about. I want to get mom out the hood. Nigga say, you nigga Deion's in the speech talking about, yo, this ain't gonna get your moms out the hood at halftime. This is what he telling niggas at halftime. Yo, this is at halftime, bro. This is what I'm talking. This is what he telling. Yo, this don't seem like y'all niggas want to get out the hood. This seems like y'all want your mother to stay exactly where y'all at. Little Juju, right? He started high school, 2 pair of sneakers. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, he says shit.
That's gonna motivate you.
Yeah, and this isn't just a recruit. This is in the middle of a game. So I think when you have people that speak your language and then tell you, look, nigga, we gonna get you $2 million. If you want $2 million, that'll be here before January. And I'm not saying he's buying them, but he's gonna work the NIL out to where he's gonna make a star player get $2 million. So I think when people are talking your language, and I'm not saying it's a white or black thing or any color thing, But when they understand what environment you come from, it resonates more
Yeah,
with you.
he understands the pressure they're up against.
Right.
He understands that.
Okay. So we've had a lot of talk about college, and we know these guys are getting paid thanks to NIL, but it doesn't hurt to gain some advice. So can you tell us how you think they can leverage the amount of money they can earn, Maurice?
Yeah, it's a few different things. And my first piece of advice is for guys who go to the schools that they plan on living in after school, right? The in-state guys. And when you have a lot of these companies that come to partner with you, be it restaurants, be it franchises, be it clothing companies, whoever, insurance companies, whoever, I would just like to see these guys take a position of wanting to have equity within that brand, right? And so I'm from Ohio, and if I was doing an NIL deal a long time ago, in some regard, I'm always going to have a home here. Whether I move down to Florida, whatever, I'm always going to come back here. So I'm going to do business with the school and be able to leverage that. And as people get older, and people who probably went to school with you and they're in different positions in life inside of their 40s, 50 years old, like you'll own part of these companies that come to give you just a check instead of getting paid one time. You're getting paid either in perpetuity or into the actual company sales. And so that's one piece of it. There's another piece where a lot of these guys don't understand how cheap it is to produce merchandise, right? So I was up in Connecticut, and I was asking these guys, what type of deals they had, either with their pictures and with their shirts. And these young kids were paying like $10 or $12 a shirt, and I was like, yo, to produce this stuff, this is like $2 or $3, and for you to buy the rights to your own picture, like you can go ahead and buy these products. You can have a cousin, a family member, or somebody, and you have enough attention around. You have 500,000 followers. Your teammate has 100,000 followers, and you have another guy who has $70,000 or $80,000. These young guys can go to the local sporting goods store. These young guys can go to a local venue that does autographs, and they can grab their own merchandise, get a graphic made up, and they can sell their own products. And something that they pay $1 for or $2 for, they can sell a picture for $40, $50, $60. And the actual institution who brought them there, they'll advertise and bring people there because they want to sell other products at their actual venue. And those are two ways. In regards to camps, these young kids can go either rent out gyms, rent fields, in the same way that these large institutions throw camps and they charge $300, $400, $500, $600 for these guys to do this. These young kids can do the same thing. They can go rent a local high school gym, go around to your little league teams, your junior high teams, your high school teams, show face, shake hands, talk to athletic directors, talk to people who influence these kids, give a portion of the camp away for free and some proceeds away to some nonprofit. And they can run camps, and these kids can do this stuff themselves. I'm a real big proponent of doing for self. And I just always believe that the moment that somebody stops you from thinking, that's the moment that, they take advantage of you. And so many times inside of this NIL space, there's a lot of these who don't have to do any thinking, and they're just having a good time. And there's somebody usually on the other end who's taking advantage of the whole situation. And they just end up in so many bad deals. So that's my advice.
That's great advice, man.
That was a lot of good advice.
Definitely was. All kids need to take heed to that. I wish we had those opportunities.
Okay. Well, Maurice, thank you for being here.
Yo, thank you again,
Yes.
Mo. We appreciate you. We see all these other outlets. We see these outlets reaching out to you now. They want to interview and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy you getting them opportunities, man.
And don't come in there with a
listen,
Nebraska shirt next week.
Yeah, don't be calling me talking about I can't get back to you. I'm doing an interview with somebody else, neither.
No, look, but I did say, and I humbly said, and I was serious about it. I did say thank you, man. I humbly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Man, you listen to me, put me on the platform. Next thing I know, I got the folks on my line. You know what I'm saying? And so I definitely appreciate it, man. It comes with sincere gratitude.
Now, seriously, man, we're happy that you get this opportunity because, listen, you're a great player. You got a great football mind. You come in here every week and you're very knowledgeable, and a lot of people should listen to you. So I'm happy that these other outlets are also reaching out to you. And thank you for being our college analyst. We appreciate you, and it is what it is.
All right, I'm back in the house.
All right, man. All right, see you later. All right.
Okay. In the comments, let us know your favorite NIL deal you've seen. And when we return, we'll get into a 9th-year college football player's petition for another year.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it, wanna be free.
Welcome back. Miami tight end Cam McCormick is pitching for his 9th year of college football eligibility. The 25-year-old started his collegiate career at Oregon in 2016 and spent 7 years there. He said his request was accepted in the Pac-12, but as for the ACC, he has to repetition for it. What do you think about his request?
He was at Oregon for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what did he do for the 7?
So he actually had a couple injuries. He suffered 4 consecutive season-ending injuries between his sophomore year and senior year. And then he had eligibility because of COVID-19.
He had a lot of misfortune.
Yeah.
He had a lot of misfortune. So all of those years that he was there, technically, I don't think they qualify as play years, or do they? No.
4 season-ending injuries means he didn't play for like 4.
So if he's, how do we expect to play against kids that are 19 if you're 26? You know, and when we was growing up, we call that ringing.
Yeah, definitely was ringing, but
fake birth certificate,
yeah, all type of shit. What I will say is that niggas named Cam maximize every opportunity that they could get. That's just the way it is, man. We gonna take advantage of every opportunity we can get, and if we can find a loophole in this situation, that's what we gonna do. I think it's crazy, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know how it works. Listen, a lot of basketball players, I ain't gonna say no 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th year, got a year or a year and a half off because of COVID. So you had a lot of people who would have graduated and didn't get a chance to play because of COVID, and they got an extra year. I remember when we was in high school, we always used to say, if I had one more year,
you'd have been All-American.
That's all you needed was one more year. So imagine 8 more years. You can imagine, man. But hey, bro, if you could pull this shit off, I ain't rooting against you, but I'll be honest, from where we sitting, the shit sounds ridiculous. It sounds kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, so what would he be, the 30-year-old rookie?
He'd be the water boy.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, it sound
and
wild.
I feel sorry for people who missed their shot. A lot of people missed their shot with COVID. A lot of people missed those 2 years. Those 2 years changed a lot for people that weren't at the top if they weren't working tremendously hard.
Right. And I actually agree. I mean, I did go to that school. I mean, a lot of the players were older, but I mean, if they accept the request, they accept the request. So I would take it too. Like, it's comfortable. You're living in Miami and you're playing football instead of trying to figure out something else to do. So why not? Okay. Shannon Sharpe accuses Giannis of limiting Milwaukee's talent by giving roster spots to his brothers. He said, "You keep talking about surrounding you with talent. There's 2 spots being occupied by your brothers." Do you agree with Shannon?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. If you got 2 of your brothers on a team, all he need now is his uncle.
Listen, I'm definitely agreeing with Shannon, because you know why? I ain't sugarcoating, his brothers ain't shit. Like, yo, them niggas is trash, bro. And I can see if
his
them
brother's
niggas,
not good.
them niggas is trash. Like, not even good a little bit. Them niggas is trash. Yo, listen, if they was good, let's say for instance, right? There's a little bit good. Motherfucking, you would hear about them in FIBA or something in the World Cup and playing for Greece or whatever. Them niggas is trash. I'm 100% with Shannon. The one brother is just his personal assistant. The one that's always there. I seen the nigga
But he plays on a team.
He's on the team, but that's just, to me, it's his personal assistant. The nigga picking his nose one game. He had a booger in his nose. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Now they got the other brother that was in the G League, played for the Lakers for a minute. He's on the team. He's super trash. Dumb trash. Like, look, but this is what I say, right? This is what I say. This is what's going on in my opinion. Giannis was over here when he first got to America to the Bucks.
Yeah.
You know, to get the visa or whatever the paperwork to move over here, you get 3 opportunities to move over here. The third one, if you don't get it, you never could get it.
Yeah.
They turned his parents down twice. So when it was time for him to get the third opportunity, Giannis said, if they don't get through, I'm just gonna have to go back to Greece. Niggas, all of a sudden, on the third try.
So Milwaukee did what they had to do to get him.
Yeah, they got his parents here. So what, to me, Giannis like, oh, I start threatening niggas, I get my way. Hey, yo, matter of fact, you know my brother, he aight, right? And my other brother, he aight. So if you want me to stay here, I need to be around family. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. But I agree with Shannon Sharpe. If you want, you're occupying 2 roster spots, because look, you can have them as trainers.
Yeah, 2 players on a team could totally change a team, though. 2 good players added to a team can tremendously
why
change
can't they
that
just
team.
be part of Milwaukee Bucks staff? Why they gotta be players? Niggas like, because that's not their dream. Giannis is on some bully shit over there. That niggas is bullying the whole situation. And look,
why they couldn't be trainers? They could still travel with the team.
But they want to play in the NBA. That's what I'm trying to tell you, nigga. This is what I'm saying.
Giannis said, I'm going to make all our dreams come true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they probably offered them jobs as trainers. Yeah. And they was like, nah, we cool on that. We wanna be in the NBA because this makes absolutely no sense. Niggas is trash, bro. I'm agreeing with Shannon Sharpe on this, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate Shannon Sharpe for telling the truth about it, because so many times star players be so touchy, pause, that people can't tell them the truth. And Shannon stepped out there.
Could you imagine the whispers in the locker room? No, the rest of the team. The rest of the team is like, yo, this is like, wow, my nigga. I wanted my brother to play. Niggas probably like, my brother will bust his brother ass. Pause. You got to deal with all that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dion asked Tom Brady, Tom, do you think a college kid needs a Phantom like a Rolls Royce? Brady responded, I think he needs to get in the film room and spend as much time in there as possible, when speaking about Shador. Then Shador responded, well, you have one too, but Tom said it was just a rental. Thoughts on Tom's advice and his response?
I think when players are hungry, they play better. I think it begins to take a special mind to have access to a lot of things and still remain driven. I think that's just my view on it. What you think, Ken?
I was just thinking about, so you told me about the hunger. How you going if I'm not hungry?
Yeah, because one time I told that to my son. I said, man, I need you to be hungry out there. He turned and looked at me and said, how do you be hungry if you're not hungry? That changed my whole mentality.
He was speaking, he told me about, he said, I don't even know what to say. That's what I was thinking
so
about.
Upset. I was like, yo, I can't get my son to be hungry. He said, you had to do that. We don't have to do that. I got a Rolls Royce in the driveway. I got stuff. So that's personal. It's personal. When I hear him say that, that's personal.
Right.
But it taught me a lot. It's extremely hard for any young black kid to be motivated if they get all their rewards early. There'll be some kids that'll get rich in college but won't do well in the NFL because of that NIL.
What I have to say about it is this. I miss niggas like Shador, man. I don't care. I miss niggas talking shit. Everybody's all kumbaya. Yeah. Everybody's all friends. I always been in the mindset of this. If niggas work hard, pause, then they could talk shit if they back it up. Look, man, we at the era, Reggie Miller sat there, paused and grabbed his dick in Spike Lee face with his girl sitting there talking about, yeah, y'all Knicks choked. I miss that. No, not to grab dick pause, boy. I'm just talking about niggas talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas work hard, and if you could back it up talking shit, like the Prince Nassim, the boxing nigga, used to talk mad shit. I miss that era. So when you got Shador Diddy bopping, or he got Maybach or whatever, that don't mean he not in the film room because he comes to the game in a Maybach. That means he's not going to work harder if he drove there in a Honda. I just don't understand. I get it, but I get what he's saying. Get out the Maybach. He got to get to school one way or another.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So listen, you know what we was talking about earlier? They interviewed Shador, and he said if he's around Colorado and bumping the number 11 who did that, Travis Hunter, he said it might be on site depending on how he's feeling. That's
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And he said, you going to do something? He said, it depends on how I'm feeling when I see him, if I see him around the state.
And it might not change a player like Shador, Tupac Shador, because he grew up around money. Mm-hmm. But to a kid who, I'm speaking to the kids that they work their whole life to get to that place. Sometimes people get their rewards too early, and it kind of like intercepts the process. Like we saw with Mikey Williams, you start driving Lamborghinis, all of this stuff. You start thinking you're already there, and you stop performing like you should.
Okay. Good points. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in today's episode. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.